Mbappe is one of the biggest stars in world football. A World Cup champion with France in 2018, top scorer in Qatar 2022, and one of the most lethal players on the planet. But throughout his career, there have been moments when he seriously considered quitting football. Today, I'll tell you about the 2 times Kylian Mbappé was on the verge of saying goodbye. When Mbappé was a football prodigy playing at the INF Clairefontaine Academy, he went through a crisis that made him doubt whether he wanted to continue in the sport. At just 14 years old, he felt overwhelmed by the pressure and expectations placed upon him. Teams like Real Madrid, Chelsea, and PSG were already interested in him, but that attention also brought an enormous emotional burden. From a very young age, Kylian was considered an extraordinary talent. His speed, dribbling, and goal-scoring ability made the top European clubs set their sights on him. However, this also meant that every match felt like a test, every training session an evaluation, and every mistake a potential sign of weakness in the eyes of recruiters. Football, which had always been his passion, started to feel like a burden. Mbappé found himself in a situation where every decision seemed crucial for his future. His life revolved around football and the expectations of his family, coaches, and scouts from major clubs. People talked about him as the next great French player, comparing him to Henry. But deep down, Kylian was just a teenager who felt like he was losing control of his own life. The pressure didn't only come from the outside. Mbappé felt that he had to be perfect, that he couldn't afford to fail. Every time he played, he felt the need to prove his talent to justify the interest of the clubs. The fear of disappointing others, the fear of failure, started to affect his mindset. And in a moment of frustration, he seriously considered quitting football. He asked himself if it was really worth continuing a career that, at such a young age, was already causing him so much stress. His family was key during this time. His mother, Faiza Lamari, and his father, Wilfried Mbappé, talked to him and helped him understand that his talent was special and that he had to keep going. His mother reminded him that he didn't have to carry the world on his shoulders and that the most important thing was to enjoy the game. His father, who was also a coach, taught him how to channel pressure and see football not as an obligation, but as a unique opportunity that very few had. His family helped him find the balance between high expectations and passion for the sport. Thanks to their support, Kylian overcame the crisis, and shortly after, he made one of the most important decisions of his life, joining the youth academy of AS Monaco. That decision was the first step towards a legendary career. But it wouldn't be the last time Mbappé considered walking away. Let's fast forward to 2021. France is eliminated in the round of 16 of the Euros against Switzerland after a dramatic 3-3 draw and a penalty shootout. Mbappé steps up for the final kick. If he scores, the shootout continues. If he misses, France is out. Unfortunately, Swiss goalkeeper Sommer saves his shot, and France is eliminated. What followed was a nightmare for Mbappé. The press tore him apart. Fans heavily criticized him. For days, his name trended on social media for all the wrong reasons. Memes, mockery, and negative comments flooded the internet. But the worst part was the racist insults he received. He wasn't just attacked as a player but also as a person. He was called an imposter, overrated, and was dehumanized in the cruelest way. Mbappé was deeply affected. For him, the most disappointing part wasn't the criticism but the lack of support from the French Football Federation. He felt unprotected, especially when the FFF president, Noël Le Graët, downplayed the issue, saying that racism in football didn't exist. The federation's indifference was the hardest blow. Mbappé expected the organization representing French football to take a strong stance against racist attacks. Instead, he felt abandoned in the middle of the storm. This made him question whether it was worth continuing to play for a country where, according to him, some people didn't see him as French, despite leading them to glory in the 2018 World Cup. Mbappé was so affected that he considered quitting the French national team. He revealed this later in an interview, where he admitted that he felt betrayed and didn't want to keep playing in an environment where he didn't feel supported. "I never wanted to be a problem for the national team. But I felt like I was the problem, and the solution was to leave," he stated. Luckily, he didn't make a hasty decision. 3 key factors made him change his mind: his family and inner circle. His mother, father, and close friends reminded him how important he was to the team and how much he could achieve. They helped him understand that his impact went far beyond a missed penalty and that he still had a lot to give. The support of his teammates and Deschamps, his coach, and several players, like Hugo Lloris and Karim Benzema, spoke with him, assuring him that he was a key part of the team. They reminded him that everyone makes mistakes and that great players are defined by how they bounce back from them. His own pride and desire to prove his worth, Mbappé decided that he couldn't let insults and negativity push him away from his national team. He didn't want to give his critics the satisfaction, and he knew the best response was to prove his quality on the pitch. In October 2021, France won the Nations League, and Mbappé played a crucial role in the final against Spain, scoring the decisive goal. It was proof that his story with France was far from over. Mbappé has shown that, despite difficulties, he always finds a way to rise again. His story teaches us that even the greatest face crises and doubts. But what truly makes them legendary is their ability to overcome challenges and keep moving forward. In football, as in life, moments of adversity can define a person's destiny. Mbappé could have given up on multiple occasions, but instead, he chose to use every obstacle as motivation to improve. His failures made him stronger, his pain made him more resilient, and his pride drove him to prove to the world that he was made for greatness. How far will Mbappé go? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: his story in football still has many chapters left to be written. At just 26 years old, he has already conquered the world and remains at the top. If there's one thing he has proven throughout his career, it's that no matter how many times he falls, he will always rise again. And with every comeback, he will be even stronger. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more incredible football stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you'll find compilations, stories, and unforgettable moments from the beautiful game.